throwing shit at the pilot. Niggas be broken, be sobbing, but still talking shit like they violent.
So I was watching Dom 2K's video a couple days ago, and it got me thinking, who is the next face of the NBA? I mean, throughout history, we've been blessed with at least one guy that we can trust will give us a great storyline. From Bill Russell and Wilt, to Magic and Bird, to Jordan, to Kobe, and now LeBron. It really might be the NBA's biggest problem, because if you look at the names I just mentioned, there is a player or two from each of the last 80 decades, except for one decade. And that is the 70s, where the NBA had to be saved by Magic and Bird for the league to continue and flourish. And a big part of that was the fact that the league didn't really have that one guy that could give you a storyline each year. I mean, yeah, there was Kareem, but honestly, throughout the 70s, he actually only had one ring during the first year and the last year of the decade. That's around 9 years, where the quote-unquote best player in the league did not win a championship. Imagine if Kobe won a ring in 2002 and never won a ring until 2011. Obviously, in those middle years, it wouldn't be that interesting when the best player of your sport can't even win a championship. And that's what happened. Games weren't nationally televised. There was drug abuse. The NBA had poor public perception. And that's what I'm afraid will happen once LeBron retires. Looking at the landscape right now, there doesn't seem to be that one guy that we know will take the reins from LeBron as the most dominant figure in the NBA, where we say he can be a Mount Rushmore type of player, where we say you can put him on any team and they'd be in a position to win a championship. At least not yet. And that is what I want to explore in this video. Who are these guys that are up next? Anthony Davis. Now, to me, the first player that immediately comes to mind if you want to talk about the next guy that will become the best player in the league is Anthony Davis. I mean, this man is simply a beast of the highest caliber. The man has made strides every year and to me has transformed himself as the best big man in basketball. He's averaging 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks this season on 50% field goal percentage and 80% shooting at the charity stripe. And the crazy thing is, the man's only 23. 23. Like, we can only imagine how good this man can be and how dominant he can be surrounded with the right people. Hell, even if you take that out, the fact that he alone has room to improve is insane. If he can be surrounded by the right people, I could see AD easily averaging 33 points and 14 rebounds with 2.5 blocks. And I'm not even joking. That's how good I think AD can be in his prime if he's surrounded by the right people. The only question I have with AD is 1, his health, and 2, if the Pelicans can surround him with the right pieces. Regarding his health, before this year, AD has never played more than 68 games a season. So bare minimum before this year, AD has missed 14 games. And this is a man that is, again, only 23 years old. How can you be the face of the league when you're not even playing most of the time? And also, if AD can't ever win, I don't think you can view him as the face of the NBA. The same way we don't view guys like KD as the face of the NBA. But again, the potential is still there, as he did play 75 games this year, which is a career high. And with Boogie Cousins in New Orleans, his chances of getting that winning aspect have definitely increased. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, the past 5 faces of the NBA have all been wings. Yes, I guess you could say Shaq was also the face of the NBA and Tim Duncan as well, but when we look back in history, I feel like we're gonna call the 2000s the Kobe era, the 2010s the LeBron era, etc, etc. But going back to the main topic, the past 5 guys have been wings. Magic, Larry, Kobe, LeBron. Well, Magic was a point guard, but you get my point. They weren't big men. And right now, no wing has more potential than Giannis. Alright, here's a little exercise we can do as a cohesive community. Close your eyes and just imagine this. A 6'11" point guard, a roughly built one at that, who's 22 years old, who's averaging 23 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds, nearly 2 blocks and 2 steals a game, shooting 53% from the field and 77% from the free throw line, is leading his team to the 6th best record in his conference. Okay, open your eyes. You see Giannis Antetokounmpo. He truly does have all the tools of being that next guy. The only thing we need to see from this guy is playoff success. And I think out of the guys who can potentially be the heir to the throne, Giannis may get the most playoff success out of all of them, considering all of the guys in this video have not even been to the playoffs, except for AD. But he got swept and they barely made it that year. However, I do want to see more of a killer instinct and more of a mid-range game from Giannis, because if he can develop just those two things, and obviously shooting a little bit, but mainly the mid-range game and the killer instinct, I think he will be the next face of the NBA. Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns is very similar to AD. Hell, even at the same age, I would argue that Cat is better in almost every single facet of the game besides blocking shots. And to me, he's also in a better position to be that next dynastic player. With Zach Lavine, a guy to me who can be the next James Harden, in the sense that he's in a system and on a team where he can't really showcase his star level talent, and Andrew Wiggins, who looks like a perennial all-star starting next year. The Timberwolves really do have the potential of having the next iconic dynasty in the NBA. And again, a part of being that next face of the league is that dominance factor, being the guy at the top of the mountain that everyone's trying to be. And if Cat reaches his prime at the same time these other guys do, and they have a cohesive team at hand, he could be the next guy where people say he's the man to beat right now. And that has been a reoccurring theme from the last 5 faces of the league. You will not win a championship unless you go through them. And I feel like Cat can have that same aura around him if he can get to that stage. It's just a matter of when he will win a ring and if he will win sooner rather than later. Some guy not in the NBA. And let's be honest here, man. To be the face of the NBA, you really do have to have the right mix of circumstances to be that next guy. And to me, the guys I just mentioned don't have that right mix yet. Keyword yet. Like with AD, yeah, he has all the tools, but he's been in the league for years and he hasn't won a single playoff game yet. With Giannis, he just doesn't seem to have that killer mentality yet. And you know, that's that storyline yet. With Cat, well, you know, it's still his second year, but they've only won 2 more games from last year and still haven't had any playoff success yet. With guys like Markelle and Ben Simmons and Lonzo Ball, we literally haven't seen them play a minute of real NBA basketball yet. And again, the key word is yet. I just can't clearly see that next guy yet. I mean, honestly, before the Warriors choked last year, it really did look like Curry was just gonna snatch it from LeBron in the middle of his prime. But I think after the finals, that boat has sailed. And to me, I just don't see him just yet. I don't see that guy yet. Will it be Markelle? Especially if he wins a championship early in his career, assuming he will go to a contender in Boston and assuming that he'll fit well. Will it be Lonzo Ball, who does seem to have that it factor that is just, you know, it's just hard to describe, where yeah, he has weaknesses, but he will win you the game? Will it be a guy like Zion Williamson, who looks like he might be the most hyped up prospect since LeBron? We just don't know. But judging from what I see right now, and me personally and my opinions, I don't see him yet. At least not clearly. We really do need one of these guys to separate themselves from the crowd by winning a championship, or at least go deep in the playoffs in the next year or two. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and I am out. Peace.